Good morning, participants. Welcome again to International Seminar on Sustainable Urban Development, the fifth episode 2020. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ida Bagus Arabindra from the Faculty of Landscape Architecture and Environmental Technology, Universitas Sakti, Jakarta, Indonesia. In this session seminar, I will present my paper topic, the Sustainable Urban Public Park Landscape Design Criteria, based on community perception and aspiration. This paper I compiled based on my research result with my junior colleague Titi P. Deborah from the same institution. Well, participants, let me start my presentation. Introduction. Main issue. Jakarta year after year, flooding and also drought. Are there attempts to resolve? Of course. But the resolve is often partial, less integrated. Some examples of solutions that are partial: chaotic regional land use plan, lack of minimum green open space, poor conventional drainage system. This situation makes Jakarta cannot be called as sustainable and livable city. Then how to make Jakarta a city can be called as sustainable and livable city? Some science research and development successfully developed the concept of water-sensitive urban development, or WSUD, an innovative and integrated drainage city problem-solving idea. The several principles developed by the WSUD are: reorganized regional land use planning, fulfilled minimum green open space, innovative resolved urban drainage system. Adoption of the WSUD concept and its implementation and development in the field resulted in an urban strategy that can also be lowered in the community strategy, namely synergy of green open space with detention and retention ponds. Implementation the concept of WSUD in the form of synergy green open space with detention and retention ponds in the community area will be performed as city public park with ponds as dominant elements. Implementation of the new concept will certainly get a reaction from the public. Public reaction is very important to be attentive because they actually are development subject. They are super clients that must be fulfill their needs. They are also the users who are essential to their expectation and wishes. Their positive perception will drive concept easy to implement. Their enthusiastic aspiration will increase the passion of innovation in developing concepts that are much better, hopefully. Purposes: looking for integrated solution innovation addressing flooding and drought problem in Jakarta. Identify the perception and aspiration of the city community about improving the role of ponds in city park design. Developing the criteria of city garden landscape design as problem solving according to community perception and aspiration. Research methodology. Research type: action research. Observation method: qualitative using the participatory observation method. Research subject: urban community in the administrative area of Jakarta, Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi. Sample: the citizens of urban communities as users or visitors of the city park or child-friendly public open spaces who have at least been more 5 years of continuous live in urban areas. Stratified random sampling based on gender, age level, education level, socio-economic level to detect needs, wants, wishes, and expectations of the specific compound citizen. Research variables. This research is done using 5 variables. Two of the first variable is a dependent variable. based on the functional principle of detention or retention ponds, namely hydrological function variables and ecological function variables. Others are free variables to measure public perception of a situation which can be rendered in field or simulation of circumstances. These research variables are detention pond hydrological function variables, detention ponds ecological function variables, public safety and security eligibility variables, environment, hygiene, and public health variables, and beauty feasibility and environment comfort variables. Result and discussion. As shown in the table of research result, based on the choice of respondent answer to 48 closed questions and 5 open questions, the perception and aspiration of the community can be interpreted as follows. Community perception. Absolute accept hydrological function of detention pond on the city public park. Almost absolute accept ecological function of detention pond on the city public park. Absolute accept detention pond as safe and secure elements of city park. Community perception in terms of hygiene and public health is relatively uneven and sensitive. Almost absolute accept detention pond as element of beauty and comfort of the city park. Community aspiration. Implemented effectively as fluid and drought integrated solution innovation. Implemented within the sustainable framework of environmental preservation. Implemented as a guarantee of fulfillment of fundamental needs of public. Can be implemented with strict hygiene and health standard operational procedure. Implemented as dominant element of city park beauty according to public wishes. Interpretation of the perception and aspiration of the community translated into the landscape design process system to establish the design criteria are the hydrological function of ponds is basic criteria for general philosophical concepts such as landscape interpretation, theme development, program and concept plan of the effective public city park landscape. The ecological function of ponds can be adopted as a basic criteria for specific functional concept design of sustainable public city park landscape. Public security and safety consideration are the main concern and become a fundamental necessity or needs for the city community, which must be met in drafting a detailed plan of landscape development program of public city park. Environmental, hygiene, and health considerations are also a concern and a fundamental desire or wants for the city community, which needs to be met in detailed design of a healthy city public park landscape. Consideration of the beauty and the environment comfort is a quiet expectation for the city community, which is good when fulfilled in aesthetical creation of detailed park element design of the fun and exciting city public park landscape. Conclusion. Basically, the community has a positive perception and receives the concept of synergy between green open spaces with pond as an effective public garden function system to solve the problem of flooding and drought in Jakarta and surrounding areas, sustainably, safe, healthy, and enjoyable. The key lies in the goodwill of the policymakers to invite community participation in establishing their needs, desires, and hope as end user and super client that must be met as the most fundamental criterion of planning and design approaches. Well, seminar participants, I end my presentation. Thank you for your attention.